Mayad nga agahon, coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas in the Philippines. Hope everyone is having a good day, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm having my morning cup of coffee in my coffee with Ginno cup. There's the Dazzle TV logo that my good friend HD had made for us for Dazzle TV. I'm having my Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Coffee, cream, and sugar, all in one, powder form. You just put the powder in your cup, put hot water, and you got a nice cup of coffee. I'll start my live stream like I always do with the weather report. Right now, there is no weather condition, no typhoon, no tropical depression, cyclone, nothing like that in the Philippine area of responsibility, the PAR. The only thing that's affecting weather here in the Philippines for this time of the year, all the way to like October, it's the habagat season here in the Philippines. Monsoon rains. So anytime it could just rain, it could just downpour anytime during the day. It could be bright and sunny, and it could just downpour for like 30 to 45 minutes, and then it'll disappear. Then it's sunshine again. This morning, the sun is not up. I see clouds. It's cloudy this morning. And that's just the weather forecast for the entire Philippines. Metro Manila, Central Luzon, Western Visayas, and the rest of the country. It's going to be cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. And the cause of it is the habagat, the southwest monsoon. So not much change. Not much has changed as far as the weather. Yesterday, it was like, when we did the live stream, you saw how bright and sunny it was. And it stayed like that throughout the day. It did not rain yesterday. I actually did that video yesterday. I was wearing the same shirt, if you could tell, from the live stream to that when I made that video that I released at midnight, the commercial rental property in Calibo. I was wearing the same shirt I was wearing at the live stream. As soon as the live stream was done, I walked our dogs, and then Dazzle and I we went to Calibo to film that. I got this morning. This really made me smile, and I appreciate it. It came from Philippines Rider. Is on our YouTube channel. He's a subscriber. He goes, ha ha ha, Copico Blanca. I guess he watched the live stream yesterday. Found in the title, find out for yourself. So that's why he was laughing. He said, too funny, because what he did, he said here, about an hour ago, I made an Amazon order. He ordered Copico Blanca, Copico Brown, and Copico Premium. 10 packets each. So he's got 30 packets of the Copico coffee, and he says, crazy impulse buy. He said, it made me smile because he had messaged me before, and he asked me, Gino, what do you prefer out of the three? Because there are three Copico. I've had the Copico Brown, and I have, Copico Blanca is my favorite. I prefer the Copico Blanca instead of the brown, because the brown is the brown sugar instead of regular sugar. And you can I can taste the difference. I just like my Copico Blanca, more creamy. But I've never had the Copico Premium. I think the Copico Premium, I guess it's just an upgrade over the two, but I've never tried that. I'm stuck with I tried to get it at the grocery store the other day because of his message. I just wanted to check it out, I'm always like that, if people ask me to try something, whatever, I'll try it and I'll give it a shot. But again, when I got to the grocery aisle, not available. That's like common here in the Philippines. And if you go to the grocery, you have a craving for any food, Jollibee, McDonald's, it doesn't matter. If you have any craving like that, you will get it will happen to you. Guaranteed it will happen to you if you live here in the Philippines. You will go to McDonald's and order, and they will tell you not available. And it doesn't matter if you go to McDonald's and you're looking for a quarter pounder with cheese. You can be looking for a Big Mac, French fries, and they'll tell you French fries not available, sir. It's like the French fries. I remember my friend and I, Joel, when he was here from Arizona, he was visiting Calibo. We went to Jollibee, because he wanted Chicken Joy, right? Chicken Joy, the fried chicken at Jollibee. He wanted Chicken Joy. And we got to of course, we had to stand in line. And then we got to the front of the line. We were ordering. And the lady at the counter goes, we're out of chicken. They're out of chicken at Jollibee. And my friend, he goes, what? No joy? It made me laugh. But that's just the way it is here. With anything you go here, you'll be surprised. It will happen to you that you'll go to a place where it could be like their specialty, their best seller. It doesn't matter. There will come a time when they're going to tell you not available. Because we're in the province. So I kind of understand it a little bit, because we live in the province. This is Panay Island. Everything has to be shipped here. Like for the franchises, Jollibee or whatever. I'm sure they have like a distributor or supplier here. But it's still, a lot of times it has to be shipped to Panay Island. So there's, probably that happens to like places like Hawaii or Guam, items become not available. That is just a common thing. But I really appreciated the message, the comment from Philippines Rider. I was just starting my day. I got up at 4:30 in the morning this morning, and I was like, it just made me smile. It's like it's amazing how much like a video I made, a live stream, influenced him to order on Amazon like the Copico coffee, like 3 different brands. He's ordered all 3. I thought that was just cool. All right, let me read through the comments here. I do have a topic today. I also, I always try to do a topic, but let me get kind of caught up with it. I don't want to like miss any comments here. It says there, the Colonel. My lighting here is kind of, it's not bright. It's kind of like cloudy outside. So good morning, Ginno. Good morning, the Colonel. Fortune, good morning, Fortune. And the Panay Posse, work from home today. I remember your work from home today, Fortune. I actually have a question for you, Fortune, if you don't mind answering it. I got a question from a subscriber, her name, Joe Cunningham. She's female because she always tells me she's Filipina, married to an American, and they're moving here to the Philippines. She asked me, do you have friends and I said, I was thinking Fortune right away. Fortune, my friend in Cavite, who can recommend a great hospital besides De La Salle University Medical Hospital. So that's her question. Do you know? And I figured Fortune, because Fortune's wife is a over 20-year ER doctor. I couldn't have a better source for what's a good hospital, great hospital in Cavite besides De La Salle University Medical Hospital. Oh man, I don't want to do that. All right, hey. Delta, hey, Delta. Steve Farmer, my favorite weatherman. Lately, I haven't had to report the weather much, because it hasn't changed much here, Steve. But I did read an article the other day, and they are predicting four typhoons this month. And so I'm like, man, we're already in the first week here. So if we have only like 3.5 weeks left, that's going to be back to back typhoons. It does happen here sometimes where a typhoon is in one area like northern Luzon, and another one is like in eastern Visayas. That has happened. I have seen typhoons here, like two typhoons at the same time. That has happened here. It happened last year. I think it happened last year. Or sometimes one is like about to leave the country on the western side of the country, western side of the Philippines, and another one's entering. Sometimes that happens. So would not surprise me if our weather people, the Pag-asa is our weather people here in the Philippines, if they're predicting up to 4 typhoons this month of September. So it could just turn rainy here all of a sudden. Like we've had the first week so far for September, looks like all sunshine, but it could turn. It could turn all of a sudden. We can have a week here or 10 straight days of nothing but rain. Supposed to be work from home today, but my okay, all right. I thought you were work from home today, Fortune. Laptop acted up, so need to go. Oh, okay, all right. Hey, understand, man. Electronics. That's what I was talking about yesterday, man. That's why I don't really like buying electronics. It's like I like this hand-me-down phone. This is a hand-me-down phone. I have 2 hand-me-down phones from friends that gave it to me. Laptop, Ruben got us the. I don't like buying electronics anymore because that's what happens to electronics. They just break. They just then you got to replace them again. I just try to work with what I got. I'm not trying to be low budget. I'm trying to stay low budget here. Oh, you got a PC. Your team. All right, Fortune. Be safe driving to Manila. Fortune has to make the drive when he has to work in the office from Cavite to Manila, and then he also drops off his daughter at the University of the Philippines. Exclusive, University of the Philippines is the number one school in the Philippines. If your kid is going to university in the Philippines, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's kind of like your kid going to Harvard. It's like it's where all the smart people go. It's all if your kid graduates college at the University of the Philippines, they're pretty much set. They're gonna get a good job here in the Philippines. Like I said, that the brains of the Philippines go to University of the Philippines. Thoughts on India? Oh, okay. I haven't been paying attention with the news, unfortunately, with India. I don't know if there's something going on with India. I try to limit, like lately I've noticed I've been trying to limit my exposure to the news, world news, because unfortunately a lot of times it's just negative. It's like, and I'm busy anyway. I'm busy with our channel, with Leanna now, with her, she's intramural. Today, Leanna doesn't have school. That's why I was able to start the live stream early. It's intramural, so I think maybe later she'll go, but it's just sports today. They did that yesterday. They had like a parade. She had to do a dance. I think they have a dance coming up later where she's got a t-shirt for the grade, the high school, first year high school students. She might have to go later to her school to perform a dance, but that's why I'm kind of glad that she's doing Kumon, because she's got her Kumon here. And thank you again, Fortune. The Kumon is I think it's working excellent. She's got like a book bag here for her Kumon, and she'll do like assignments. I know she's done all the assignments already. I mean, it's a bunch of stuff. It's a bunch of stuff that they make her do every time. It's like homework, and then after she does her homework, she'll go there. Like this is her homework. This is her stack of homework for Kumon, like math. Like this is like reading. This one's graded. So she's got a bunch of homework to do, and then she has to turn in the homework. And then after she turns in the homework, she also has to do work inside the Kumon Center in Calibo, like about hour and a half of work. Twice a week she's been doing that. She usually does it Tuesdays and Thursday, but she didn't do it yesterday because of intramurals, and she got busy with school. It's an after school activity, additional work for her, because I just don't think that the public school, like I've mentioned before, I've been tutoring Leanna, I've been adding academic stuff to her, English, math, science. We watch videos together, just added in, because the public school, I don't think they're teaching enough. Just my opinion. They got a lot of activities that's not academic. A lot of like dance, a lot, intramural. There's a benefit to that, but I think it's too much. It's too much. It's like, to me, education, academics is important. That's why I enrolled her at Kumon. Kumon is like in Kalibo. I have to take her there like after school, about hour to hour and a half. It's a Kalibo Kumon Center. I like it because she gets like one-to-one with a teacher, and then she's got workbooks, a lot of reading, and a lot of math. So I know her math and her reading in English will improve significantly. And again, thanks, Fortune. Fortune was the one that convinced me. He was the one that convinced me to enroll Leanna in Kumon. Kiko is exiting, but na NCR, Cavite are under yellow. Okay, yellow, you're getting rain. Yellow rainfall means rain in Cavite area. Like that, right, Fortune? They've had a lot, like I know they've had a lot of class suspensions, right? Because of the rain, So to me, that's why I like the Kumon. At least I know she's on top of her like academics. Hello, Ginno, Colonel, and Fortune. Hello, Edgar. Hello, Edgar. Good morning, Edgar. Good day, Edgar. Good morning, Edgar. Oh, OB, I see OB Adventures removing people. There he is. Right there. Good morning, Kuya, and hello, everyone. Hey, OB, my good friend Olson, Aliyah, and Isaiah, if you're watching in Columbia, South Carolina. I think Isaiah's watching because he's getting homeschooled now. Hope you're enjoying the homeschooling, Isaiah. A lot more kids here in the Philippines are doing homeschooling. That wasn't available to me when I was like, there's no internet back in the day, no online school. But in the 70s, this is a new thing, even for the Philippines. This school at home, like homeschooling kids, becoming very popular. And the homeschooling, the organizations that run it are international organizations that I know, like a friend of mine that they do that with their two kids, been doing it for like many years now. And I look at their kids, and their kids are smart. It's like I don't think they're getting a more focused, more focused education, homeschooling, because their mom is like was an educator before. She's like really into like her kids. She's a stay-home mom. She stays full-time with her mom. So I know that's not always the dynamic. Not everybody can stay home, right? Even here in the Philippines, anywhere. It's like I think the world now is becoming more and more like dual income in order to survive, especially if you got kids. It's like if you got 2-3 kids, on one income, hard to do unless you're really making a lot of money. But more and more people are dual income families now. But if if one parent can stay home and take care of the education for the kids and focus education, kids probably going to learn more than going to like a school, because the school is just chaos now. Even when I studied in the United States, when I went to high school there, that was back in the 80s. I remember the chaos of like high school, and even here in the Philippines, I see it. Because it's a different dynamic now with kids going to school. Social media. It's like there's kids got cell phones now. They're on their cell phones constantly, and even at school, at recess, they can take out their phones. In the classroom, they're not supposed to have phones, but they can take their phones at recess or lunchtime. So I know it's a big part of kids' life now. Is that cell phone, and it's just a different. They see things. It's like they're exposed to a lot more things now. Harder for parents to control that. You might be able to control it when they're younger, but they reach that teenager age. It's like, watch out, watch out. They get in the teenager age. I did see the highlights. Fortune and Alex, Elia won her rain delay, then after rest quarters and 1-2 set. Yeah, semis. I did saw that she's in the semifinals now. Great, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome for the Philippines. I caught you early. All right, Daniel, my good friend in Jacksonville, Florida. I'll start it early today, Daniel, because Leanna's not in school today. Later on, she might go, but she doesn't have to wear a uniform today. It's intramurals, it's sports. I think she has, like I said, they were practicing a dance that they have to perform at school. So, but she's going to sleep in. I'm sure she's going to sleep in till like 10 a.m. And then later on, she'll want me to take her to school. Good day, Daniel, Edgar, OB. Panay Posse. Hey, man, I got my Panay Posse shirt. I got my Panay Posse shirt. Oh, there's HD. Greetings and salutations, HD. UP is in Quezon City. There's several UP now, but I think the real popular one that is Diliman. The UP Diliman is the one that. But there's UP Visayas. There's UP. Fortune was telling me there's a UP in Antique, or Pandan Antique. And good to see you, Mary. I haven't seen you, Mary Reyes. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for joining the live stream, Mary. Also, dislike buying elect stuff, but very hate not have when I stay on top of my millions. My joke lang. All right. Before I get I want to hit the topic that I wanted to discuss today. I always try to have a topic to discuss. That way, it's not just like, because sometimes, we get sidetracked, different things. But I do try to have at least one topic to discuss. And I did make a little bit of notes here. That way, I don't get sidetracked. And all right, let me save this. And my topic today is fresh start in the Philippines. And I know many people have come here. I've helped several people now finding for a fresh start, just a fresh start here in the Philippines. Different things. Some people, they come here, they just want some excitement in their life, maybe an adventure, tour the Philippines, go to different places in the Philippines. Ray in the Philippines, I know, he's been on the channel here in the live stream. He's a YouTuber too. I know yesterday I was watching his live stream and he was getting ready to fly to Iloilo City. So he's gonna be here in Panay Island, he's been living in Tagaytay, and now he wants to venture out. And that's the common dynamic here. When people come here to the Philippines, they want to see the Philippines. That's the whole point, I think, for a lot of people. They want to visit places. Even for me, it was a big deal for me when I retired here in 2011. I was basically a kid when I left the Philippines. Most of the places I remember seeing was in Manila and maybe Baguio, places where my mom and my siblings, we would go, like Laguna, Batangas. But I never really got to see, like, travel in Visayas, Dumaguete, Cebu, Bohol. I never really get to travel there, but I did that once I came here. And then Southeast Asia too, it's like, I have traveled in Southeast Asia when I was in the military, but once I retired, it was just, I had the time. I can just fly to Thailand or Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and I can stay. I can just stay at a hotel and not have a return ticket. Wait, play it out, see how long I want to stay at a place. And that's fun. That's fun when you can do that. My notes kind of skip here. My notes kind of skip. I'm like, where's my notes now? All right. because my memory is not as good as it used to be. So I have to. Most of the people that come here, a lot of people come from the United States, Canada, and a developed country, and they're coming here. Usually, it's because of retirement. They want to see more things. They got the time to do it. Like my friend from California, I remember when he got here. He's been now here over a year now. When he got here, he was like he was telling me he has lived in California for most of his life, and then he just said that life had become stale, like his routine. He was 65, 66 when we moved here to the Philippines, and when he got here, he just said he just wanted to see new things. And then when he got here, he's, like I said, he's been here a year now. And he met a lady, that's a common thing to people. People meet somebody, and he just recently got married. He just got married, and now he's with his partner, his spouse, his wife, now, and he now lives in Butuan City. So he's creating a new life here, and that's what my main topic that I wanted to discuss is a lot of times the people that are coming here, it's a fresh start. You really, when you come here, it's really, you've had your life where you came, you got family, friends, but it's kind of like a new beginning. And same thing happened to my other friend that came from the US. He's been here over 2 years now. He lived in Boracay for a little bit, and then he decided to move to Cebu because, again, he met a Filipina. That seems to be like the common theme. It's like he met a Filipina in Bohol. He was vacationing in Panglao, Bohol, met this Filipina. Now they live together in Cebu. They've been living together now for over a year and a half. They're not married yet, but my friend, he's about the same age as I am. So they're just enjoying life. I'll probably see them here. They're looking at going to Boracay like the beginning of next year. So I'm sure I'll see them. Really good friend of mine. I just see that dynamic more and more. It's like people just wanting like a fresh start. They could have had like a really rough time in the U.S. Maybe gone through divorce or like my friend was telling me, when he was in the U.S., he had friends, he had family, but he was single. And he said it was like hard to find people, as you get older, like he's my age, people that would just hang out, because most people got their family, most people had kids, and if you're single, and your friends are married or your family's married and have kids, you're kind of like the kind of like third wheel. You're kind of like, he just he was telling me that he didn't even see them that often, his family and friends, because again, he was by himself, he was single. So that's why he decided to come to the Philippines. For me, it's a little different dynamic. It was like, I remember when I came, it was, for me, it was more like I just wanted a change, because it wasn't like I was bored or anything with life in the U.S. It was just that sitting, when I ended up in that cubicle. I remember cubicle in front of the computer. I just said, man, it's like I was 45 at the time. I was just thinking, do I want to do this until I'm 62? Just so another 17 years of working, just so I can have a bigger pension at 62. And I just decided, that wasn't the trajectory I wanted to do. It's like I wanted to live life then, because I had the chance, I could do it. So to me, I think at the time I was thinking, man, this might be a wasted opportunity if don't jump and take that leap of faith and enjoy retirement early. And again, I've said it many times, it was the move for me. It's like, I'm not saying that should be the move for everybody. It worked out for me, but we all have different paths in our life. You know, it's like we have to decide that on our own. And then I have a friend. He's now here in Boracay. He's staying in Boracay now. He's married. You know, he's married. He married a Filipina here too. He came to the Philippines, met a Filipina, and now he lives in Boracay. He was telling me that they told him, you know, his family and friends in the U.S. You know, you must be running away from something. To me, I don't think it really matters. You know, it's like it shouldn't matter. Like how, you know, if you're coming to the Philippines, you know, what your family, friends, whatever, you know, what they think. You know, the main thing is what you think. You know, it's like, is it you know, it could be any reason why you're leaving the United States. Maybe, you know, maybe you're just bored there, or you can't afford the United States. You just want us to see something new, or you want to find a Filipina here. It doesn't really matter what reason it is that you decide for yourself. To me, it's just that fresh start. You know, it's you know, when I was in the military, I moved like 7 times when I was in the military in 20 years. And every time I moved in the military, going from one military base like California, going there to the Philippines, going to Korea, going to Japan, going to Louisiana, going to Texas, each time I was moving, it was just exciting for me. You know, I know we're not all the same. I know there's some people don't want to move, you know, hate moving. But for me, it was exciting for me every time I moved because, you know, I like landing at a place and everything's like a blank slate. I don't know anything about the place. You know, of course, I'll do research before I get there about the place. If I'm going to Korea, I'm looking at the map of Korea. I'm like looking at places to see in Korea, things like that. But it's different until you get there. You know, pictures, videos are nice, but it's really different, you know, once you get there, once you experience it firsthand, once you like the sounds of Korea, or the smells of Korea, or the weather, the feel of Korea. It's different once you get, you know, boots on the ground, once you get to the place. And I think that's, you know, that fresh start when you come here to the Philippines for the first time, or maybe you visited the Philippines, but now it's your move, like Daniel, like Edgar, like JP. This is gonna be their move, right? To be the Panay Posse here in Panay Island. To me, it's just that, you know, I'm excited for them. You know, I enjoy like being part of their journey, because it's like, to me, that's just exciting. Coming into here, landing here in Calibo, not knowing anything about Calibo, and everything's gonna be new. Everything's gonna be new. It's not gonna, you know, walking to the mall is new. Eating at the restaurants are new. Going to a bar, everything's gonna be new. To me, that's fun. You know. That's why I enjoy traveling when I was able to travel before. I don't travel as much now, but before, when I used to travel, that's part of the enjoyment of traveling. It's just like going to a place and having no clue about the place, and then going there and trying the different food, experiencing what the locals experience. You know, like when the Panay Posse get here, you know, they're gonna go fishing here. We're gonna go fishing in the Olas Fish Farm. We're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna go to Boracay. We're gonna go to the Canadian Beaver. You know, all new, exciting like activities. I know it's kind of, to me, it's invigorating. You know, it's like every time I experience something new, it just picks me up. It's like it's a good feeling to have. You know, it's like, I think, you know, when you just like stay at one place and don't see things, you know, you're missing out. You're missing out on a lot of things. And then, you know, for me, I remember most of my life that I could remember from when I was a kid. You know, my mom, you know, of course, my mom raised me. My mom was a single mom, raised me when I got to the U.S., when I went to high school. You know, I went to all boys Catholic school in the Philippines, my elementary years, then high school in California. But I was always the good boy. You know, from Catholic, we had mass all the time. We had confession. You know, we had stuff like that at Letron College, all boys Catholic school. So, you know, my whole life was always like following what I'm told, like being a good kid, being a good son, it's like, then I joined the military. I did 20 years in the military. And the military felt the same with me as an all boys Catholic school, because the military, we had so many rules. We had rules that if you're a civilian doesn't apply to a civilian. We had rules, we had to we had extra rules in the military that we had to abide in. And I was okay, it's like with that life, I enjoyed my military years. But I think most of my life, I just did what I was supposed to do. I was always being the good son, being the good. I was following what I was being told to do, and how life was supposed to be. For me, that changed when I moved here. I'm glad that I had the pension. Of course, I had that freedom to do that when I moved here in 2011 when I was 45, because it allowed me to, if without the pension, there's no way I moved to the Philippines. How could I afford this place? Even though it's cheap here, without the pension, I would have not have moved here at age 45. But what it did for me, it's like my family, my friends in the U.S., I know they didn't agree with my move. It's like I can't name a person that was in agreement with me that was a good move for me. Like at 45, that I had a good paying job in the U.S. I had my military pension. I had a nice house, a nice car, nice things. I had a life there. For me to give that all up to go to the Philippines and not have a plan when I got here. Really, I wasn't gonna work. It's not like I was coming here. People were asking, "What are you gonna do there?" It's like, "Are you gonna be bored? You're gonna be back here in the U.S. In a year's time." It's like, what do people do there? And there wasn't much YouTube back then. So, but to me, for the first time in my life, I did something that was all me. And I think the people that are coming here to the Philippines, when I talk to them, when I text message, when I get that same feeling. It's like a lot of the guys that I'm talking to that are coming, I'm helping to move here. They just want to do something for themselves, and to me, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like a lot of us, they came here. We've been a good citizen of the United States, a good citizen in the military. It's like volunteered work in the U.S. We've had, we've done our thing. So to us, I think we're, a lot of the guys I'm sensing is like they just want a fresh start. They just want something new, something that would excite them. Especially, once you're getting our age. I'm 59 now. 59, 60. This is our golden years. This should be the time when, if all I wanted to do was go to fish all day, 5 straight days of fishing, I should be able to do that finally, because it's supposed to be the golden years. I think most of us that came here to the Philippines, retiring here, we've already paid our dues. We've been, I have not met anybody that when I talk to them, everybody's gone through some type of hardship in their life, work-wise, school-wise, work-wise, life in general, just like bills, finances, just things that we've all gone through that we just wanted like a peaceful like golden years, a peaceful end to our life, like wake up a day where you're just like no stress, limit the stress. I think, you're always going to have something that worries you or whatever, but like, once you're retired here and you're just like living the day to day. I know my friend now here from Atlanta, when I talked to him, he was telling me before his life in the US was just so stressful. He felt it, he'd had medical issues because of how stressful it is. And now that he's been here, I think almost a month now, Iloilo first and then Calibo. Now he's got an apartment in Calibo. He's just like, not doing much, but he's just like enjoying the peacefulness, taking his time. It's like I was messaging him the other day, and I was like, he reminded me, hey Ginno, we got to check out that new bowling alley. There's a bowling alley here in Calibo. Oh, it was really old before. That's why we haven't gone bowling in there for many years. At least 8 years, Dazzle hadn't gone bowling. But they just remodeled it, refurbished it. I mean, it looks nice. It's only 8 lanes. It's not a big bowling alley. And they're only open, I think, from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. But it's something to do, and then I've always enjoyed bowling. So he reminded me, hey, dude, we still got to go bowling. So you know he's got a friend now. We're friends. I consider him friends. We've gone swimming with him. I've taken him to the Ola's Fish Farm. I've taken him to New Washington. So if I'm doing something, I'm like, hey, dude, what are you doing? It's like, I'll come get you. And then he knows Mom, Leanna, and Dazzle. We've gone swimming together. So to me, I see it. He's a perfect example. I can see that. When I see him, I like seeing him because like he just smiles. He's like you can tell like the gratefulness in his demeanor that he made the jump. He made a jump from Atlanta, Georgia to Calibo, Aklan. It's like, and there's no guarantees that he'll stay here or he'll enjoy. He'll keep living here in Calibo. But I know just that 1 month here in Panay Island, he's already changed. And he's told me that many times now. All right, let me go back to the comments. I always try to like have a discussion. Maybe like share your thoughts about the discussion that I just talked about. Joke lang. Good day, good evening, everyone. Mom Janet. Hey, Mom Janet. Hope you're feeling well today, Mom Janet. I know those injections, those long needles. It's like, man, I hated needles, man. I don't look, even now, now it, like I don't mind the needle sticks to get blood. I'm so used to that now because I have to get blood work all the time. But the ones that really get to me is like the IV. And the IVs are like brutal. It's like when I was going through like my cancer treatments, my veins what's the word today? I think collapse. What they were doing, my veins were collapsing because of the chemotherapy. So it was getting harder and harder for them to find my veins. I remember towards halfway through my chemotherapy, they would stick me like 5-6 times before they can get a vein, before they can get the IV in. And then it was just horrible. It's like, almost like, I didn't look forward to going to get those needle sticks at all. So when Mom Janet, when she was mentioning the long needles, it's like, oh man, I could just imagine, it's like, Mary Reyes, I may do the same for my granddaughter, attend Kumon here in California. She is attending public school too. So far, Leanna's been doing it for 3 weeks now, Mary, and I am impressed. I am impressed with Kumon. I like the exercises that they do, like when she goes there to the center. They have like a lot of the math I've noticed. It's a lot of time math, and a lot of solving in their head. I like that. It's, I like that they're challenging the kid. And what I like about it, there's really no pressure on Leanna. There's no pass or fail with Kumon. It's like you just advance to the level where you can advance. It's not like I keep telling that Leanna, just do your best. You're not being graded, and the teachers are so nice. They're like, and for here in the Philippines, like, the Kumon for math, reading, and English, that combination here at in Calibo, it's 4,300 a month. So it's about $80. So I would say maybe $20 a week. So to me, it's definitely worth it. I mean, I don't mind spending that money. It's like I know it will help. Now that Leanna's in high school, I know if I can do her Kumon for 4 years of high school here, she's going to be well prepared for college. And that's all I want for her. I want her, when she starts college, when she takes the college entry exam, I want her to be confident. I want her to be like, I'm going to score high on that thing. I'm going to go to whatever school I want. I'm going to get accepted to any school that's available to her. I want to give her that chance. passing through. All right, Mom Janet. Thank you for passing through. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a great day. Yes, also, and we hope that Mom Janet is having a good day. Isaiah gets so excited when you hi, but all right. That's why I keep mentioning Isaiah's name, man. I know Isaiah is gonna be my buddy when he comes here to the Philippines. I like the water. I like water slides. I like the beach. Anything to do with water, I enjoy. So, and I know Isaiah will be probably the same. He enjoy all the swimming activities. And if you live in the area where I think you're gonna live, close to Clark, because for medical care, also medical, Clark has a water park, and I've been to that water park. Same slides as in the U.S. Floating river, floating river, a wave pool. It's a big water park. It's a big water park at Clark. They also have like a zoo, like a nice zoo too. It's not like where they're like the animals in like cages. It's like the animals are able to roam. They got a big like glass thing, and they're not tied or anything. It's a nice zoo. I've done videos. I think I had Dazzle and I, we were holding that boa constrictor, or the big monster snake. We've done a video. We have like a playlist, I think, of Angela City, and it's on that playlist. Zahid. Joe, Fast Times at Richmond High, man. Spicoli, man. Spicoli, man. That's like, I think that's a classic. That's always going to be one of my favorite movies, and Fast Times at Richmond High. Dual income required due to the stagnation of wages. It's not a good thing. Oh, I agree, HD, not a good thing. Even here in the Philippines. My college classmates that I graduated with 2016, most of them, that got married, most of them are dual income now. It's not the same dynamic anymore. Like when we grew up, I grew up here in the Philippines. Most families here in the Philippines back in the 60s, 70s, there's a mom that stayed home, that's why people could afford a lot of kids. Before they could afford like 8, 9, 10 kids was like the normal. It's not abnormal before to have like a large family, mom staying home, dad trying to make the income to support everyone. But now, it's like even this generation now, they're, one kid is more than plenty for them. It's not the same. I see that now. It's not the same. Nobody can afford, more, 8, 7, 8, 5, 6. No, you can't afford that now, even here in the Philippines. With both parents working now, if you have like 2 kids, it's a stretch. It's a stretch, like you said. Probably the salary, the wages, stagnation of wages, and then higher costs. I'm sure higher costs now than back in the 70s. It's not a good thing. Yep. It's one of the driving forces why we have negative birth rates. Yes, I understand that. At least the Philippines, like James had mentioned it, James and Karen had mentioned it on the live stream here. The Philippines, 35 and below population, one of the highest in the world. It's like there's a lot of Filipinos 35 and under. We're not yet in that situation where other countries are, where they don't have enough young population. Nobody wants to have kids. Nobody wants to have kids anymore. We are so glad doing homeschooling this year. I bet Olsen, because you get to spend time with Isaiah now. We can control his pace, and he's doing really well. Yep. He has been completing his work and finishes the week one day early. Like I said, my friend here, their kids have been going since they were little, since they started school. And like their oldest son, I think he's like 9 now. Man, that kid is like super smart. He like memorizing Shakespeare and stuff like that. He's reciting Shakespeare. I'm like, at 9 years old, and he's got like taekwondo activities, like moved up the belt in he's got a lot of activities. The young daughter, she's about 6 now. She's a ballerina. There's stuff like that now here in the Philippines. That of course, it's for the people that can afford. It's not. Unfortunately, not everybody can afford like the extracurricular activities here, but for people that are coming here, like Olsen, Aliyah, and Isaiah is gonna be here in the Philippines. Yeah, he's not gonna miss out on education here. He's not. Some people say, will say that, you bringing your kid to the Philippines, that's not gonna be good for his education. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. It's like. It depends on the parents. The parents' involvement is what matters with the kid's education. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. You can't just like pay someone and then like let them worry about raising your kid. It's the parents' involvement that will like make the kid want to go to school, want to like do their best. They want to please the parents. They want to please make them happy, make them proud. Ginno, I've reviewed meds with Karen's mom. Oh, good. In my opinion, doctor assessment was thorough. Internally, their doctors have addressed her overall issues. She's aging. Thank God for those doctors. Yes, I mean, Asia Pacific Medical Center is a good hospital. That's where I go. My oncologist comes from Iloilo City, does a clinic. They do chemo and all that. Chemotherapy also at Asia Pacific Medical Center. The facilities are state of the art. All their equipment's new. It's like they're doing pacemaker implants now. I saw it on their Facebook page. So people think, because we're in the province, we're in Aklan province, that because there are more hospitals here that looks like outdated, not well. That's why we're so blessed now that we have Asia Pacific Medical Center in Kalibo, because finally we have like a state-of-the-art hospital, comparable to some of the hospital I worked in the United States. Because there are hospitals, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, like here in the province. If you're outside of Kalibo, once you're like in Malay, Ibahay, like the small towns away from the main town here, the capital town of Kalibo, I would consider barely a hospital. It's basically a doctor, but the equipment is lacking, support is lacking. So that's why for our entire province, most of the people, when they get sick, like James and Karen's mom, they're in Balete, they have to go to Kalibo because I don't know what kind of hospital they have in Balete, but the best hospital is Asia Pacific Medical Center in Kalibo. Good morning, Tanya. Tanya Wilkins, good morning. De La Salle Dasma is the best in the area. The ER there is handled by Cheese colleagues. If near Nuvali, Medical City. Oh yeah, I've heard of Medical City because I went to Santa Rosa and I think I did see Santa Rosa Laguna, and I think they have a Medical City there too. But I'm gonna take a picture of this so I can answer. I can send this information to Joe Cunningham. That way. Thank you so much, Fortune. I'm sure she'll appreciate it. She asks me questions all the time, and I don't mind. Like almost every day, she's asking me like different things, and I like it because it keeps me researching the information, asking other people that I know is a good source like you, So for me, it's all about sharing the information. It's like I think if we do that more, valuable information. Like today, I got a message this morning from a friend of mine. He lives in Boracay with his fiance. His fiance's got a daughter, and they got an issue with he wanted to get his fiance daughter a passport, right? because he wanted to take, he's taken his fiance abroad, like in Southeast Asia, but now he wants to include the daughter, and the daughter didn't have a passport. So they made a trip all the way to Iloilo City from Boracay. That's a 5-6 hour trip, to the Department of Foreign Affairs to get a passport. I wish he had just contacted me before he went there. I could have told him what he needed. But the daughter's birth certificate was not PSA, the Philippine Statistics Authority certified. Here in the Philippines, when you're born in the hospital here, the hospital does a birth certificate, right? Like the hospital, the time of birth, parent, whatever. But that's not an official document here in the Philippines. If you needed to get an ID, if you need to get a passport for that kid, that birth certificate is not official. It's just a hospital. It has to be PSA, Philippine Statistics Authority. It's on a green paper. I think Leanna's got one of there. I can show you an example. They actually have to print it on their paper. It's like a green paper. I think Leanna's thing is right here. Green, yellowish. Green. This paper right here. It's kind of green, like yellowish paper, and it's got to have that seal, like Philippine Statistics Authority. That makes it an official birth certificate. A birth certificate here from the hospital is not an official, like the government that will take. It's not an official document. That's why the daughter couldn't get a passport. And in order to get this, you have to whatever hospital the kid is born, there's a local registry of birth. It could be in a town, it could be in a city where the kid is born. You have to take the hospital birth certificate to the local registry of birth, that office. You can't go directly to the Philippine Statistics Authority. You have to go to the local agency, like here in Calibo. If the kid is born at Asia Pacific Medical Center, that certificate from the hospital has to be taken to like the Calibo registry of birth. And then once that certificate is taken there, that they'll review the document, of course, they'll verify with the parents, the local registry of birth. Those are the people that will send it to the Philippine Statistics Authority. The Philippine Statistics Authority is kind of like a government agency all over the Philippines. It's like nationwide. They have branches. They have a Philippine Statistics Authority here in Calibo, but you can't take that certificate from the hospital directly to them. The registry people that register the birth locally has to do it with the Philippine Statistics Authority. Then, once it's like put in by the Philippine Statistics Authority into their system, you can either go to the office and request, any PSA office in the Philippines, he could get that certificate, or you can even order it online. You can order, like this birth certificate that Leanna got. I ordered this online, less than $400, I think, to get it delivered. DHL, delivered to me, not by the post office. The post office, if you send anything here in the post office, chances are it'll get lost. It'll get lost here. Unfortunately, it's not very reliable, the postal service here. And speaking of postal service, I finally got information regarding that Social Security here in the Philippines. For people that are collecting their Social Security here in the Philippines, the people that are like for me, when I turn 62, all I have to do is I'll go to the embassy itself just to be sure, I'm applying 3 months before I turn 62 for my Social Security. And I can register a local bank, a local Philippine bank, to where Social Security will send my money every month for my Social Security. The biggest thing that happened, I guess because of the mailing, because once a year they would do this proof of life. The Social Security sends you a document here in the Philippines with your Philippine address. Ooh, my friend Larry just sent me a message. I haven't heard from you. Okay, I'll check. Larry is the guy that owns the resort, L&L Resort in Pandan Antique. I'll have to message him. I just saw it. But you know, you have to, like, the Social Security Department would like mail you once a year proof of life. You got to like sign the document, mail it back to them. But because of the issue right now with mailing things in the US, what's happened here in the Philippines, there's an address, a Social Security address here in Manila. You're allowed to send it to them now. You know, whatever form you got from Social Security, wherever it came from, if it came from what state, whatever, you get it. Before you have to mail it back to them. Now you can mail it to Manila. And if you never get the form, because again, you know, mail here, you know, unfortunately, it's not, you know, it doesn't get to you a lot of times. You can actually just go print the form, sign it. It can't be like, you can't like Xerox it. It's got to be the original. Print the form, sign the form, mail it to the U.S. Embassy, Social Security Department in Manila, and you're good to go. You're good to go. There's actually a number now also where you can call the U.S. Embassy in Manila, Social Security Department, and you know, it could be a while, you know, because there's a lot of Social Security beneficiaries living here in the Philippines, but they can actually do it on a call. So that's an improvement from before, because I know for before it was a headache for people, you know, mailing stuff back to the U.S. or receiving mail from the U.S. The key thing is, like, if you're mailing something to Manila, to the Social Security Department in Manila, make sure you mail it courier, DHL, whatever courier service here, a pay service here. Usually will cost you maybe $20 but use that. Don't use the Philippine Postal Service. Spend that extra money. That's always been the case here. Most expats know that here. Anything you send here using the Philippine postal system, no guarantee of it getting there. That's why people use like DHL, private couriers. Because with the private couriers, they have to sign for it. Sometimes they have to take a picture of the person, and then you can see the signature that somebody accepted your document at the U.S. Embassy in Manila. I had to do that when I did my renewal for my passport, my U.S. passport. I did it all by mail. I did not have to go to the U.S. Embassy in Manila when I renewed my passport. I printed the form, the document online, and I signed, you know, filled out the form, signed it. At the time, I was required to send them a cashier's check, which was a challenge to get here. But now you're allowed to pay with debit card, credit card, probably GCash by now. But you know, but I did my renewal of my passport all in the mail. I did not have to go to Manila. I completed the form, payment, and I sent it by courier, by DHL. And when I mailed it by DHL, I saw that the U.S. Embassy got it, my passport application, and I got my passport back in 30 days, less than 30 days, I think. I got my passport back by courier too, by courier. It got delivered to me by DHL, and I think I paid for that service. I paid for the DHL service going to the embassy and back also. I think at that time, Air 21 was the company that was the courier service that delivered my passport. But I didn't have to go to Manila. You know, I got it all accomplished, the mail, my picture, everything. I had to get a picture with my application. And now my passport, I think I still got like 6 years on my, because it's every 10 years on the passport. My office laptop is Lenovo. All right, my personal. I have a Lenovo. That was the laptops that Dazzle and I got. You know, it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there. I mean, my Lenovo is at least 5 years old. You know, I know it's on its last legs. Ginno was discussed. James is carrying amazing. One life helps another. Yes. See. That's why, you know, James is a good friend, and I know he'll be successful here in the Philippines. I know he's going to have a good life here. He's just a genuine guy. He's a good guy, and he understands. He respects the culture. He knows the dynamic here. I know many people, he gets criticized. I get criticized sometimes, on comments, how, the dynamic here where it's a big family, it's like you marry into the family here in the Philippines. I just think that the ones that understand that embrace that, I just think we're happier. Just my opinion, I could be wrong, but like, the ones that avoid the Filipinas family and don't treat them like family, like say things like, oh, you got to live at least one island away from your Filipinas family. I think, your success rate is not going to be improved by that kind of thinking. For me, I embrace Dazzle's family. I embrace the fact that, hey, I'm the one that has money. I'm the one that can help the nephews. I can commit to the nephews. Hey, do well in school. When it's your time for you to go to college, I will pay for your college. Show me your high school grades that you're like a hard worker in school, that you're gonna, I do not have problem paying for somebody else's college as long as I know that it's gonna pay off for that kid someday. No problem with that. Now, I'm not gonna support somebody that that I know is lazy. I know that's lazy or not trying. It's like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna encourage behavior like that. But if I know a kid is trying their best, they're working hard. Same thing with family members. If I know they're like working two jobs, just to put food on the table, I do not mind helping them. It's like I wouldn't support somebody that's unemployed, that's like drinking all the time. No way, I would not support that. I bring her to UP on Tuesdays. Then, oh, okay, all right. So there must be a dormitory for your daughter. OB, did you time out or hide carcasses? Did you time out? Mom Janet, OB, I think Olson hid the bodies. Hid the bodies. Both. That's funny. Both. Kumon is 10 pages a day for each of their. Yeah. I mean, he's just got a whole folder here, man. It's like, this bag's heavy, man. We keep emptying it out. We keep like putting all her workbooks. She's definitely, sometimes I feel like she's got more assignment and more work with Kumon than the public school. It's like, it's unfortunate that it's like that. The school here, the public school anyway, it seems like they have a lot of extracurricular activities besides academics. Hiding viewer reduces subscribe. Don't worry, Mom Janet. I trust you guys. I'm not worried about subscribers, how many subscribers, how many views. It's not a big thing to me. I know, that's a big thing to a lot of YouTubers. Me, I don't even pay attention to it. It's like I enjoy this. I enjoy our communication. I enjoy even though I haven't met you in person, Mom Janet, I enjoy our relationship. Same thing with Olson. Same thing with JP, Edgar, Daniel. I enjoy that. That's what makes YouTube fun for me. We don't make a lot of money on YouTube, and I don't expect to ever make a lot of money with YouTube. I like the friends that I've gained with YouTube. I like that, Ray in the Philippines. I like the fact that he's coming here to Panay Island, and I'm actually gonna meet him. We're gonna talk about Louisiana for sure, because I lived in Louisiana for 4 years. Talk about the Saints, harass each other a little bit, have fun. Just have fun. I like that dynamic. Meeting good people. I always say, you can't have enough good people in your life. Surround yourself with good people, fun people, positive people. Stay away from negative people. Stay away from people that are draining, that are too much work. I've always said this too. It's like, to me, friendship should be easy. Friendship should be like natural, right? When you meet somebody, you just bond. You're like having a good time. Friendship should not be a lot of work on one-sided a lot of times. So, when you meet somebody like me, when I meet somebody that, man, I sense just like, man, there's just a lot of negativity with this guy, I kind of like ease off. I kind of like move away. It's like I've just learned, my time is so valuable to me, my joy in life. I got a limited time on this earth, Um, I want to be around good, positive people, so that the negative people, unfortunately, a lot of times takes too much work, takes something out of you. It's like I like people that are consistent. I like people that are like, I know what to expect from the person. The person's good. The person's fun to hang out with. I like that. I don't enjoy the people that are like, one day they're good, one day they're bad, one day, to me, it's like, man, it can get draining. And we all have families, here, Dazzle and I were raising a 12-year-old, it's like, I just don't need like added like pressure, like I said, to me, friendships should be easy, should be like automatic, should be, I shouldn't worry about, hey, you went here, I live here, why didn't you like stop by, things like that, or, I do not expect anything from my friends, as far as like, if they, like, let's say a friend of mine went here to Camellia Aklan, visited another person. I don't expect that person to like stop by my house. It's like, not obligated, you shouldn't be obligated to friends. Friends should be like, if I see you, I see you. Hey, it's like, happy to see you, brother. Let's have fun. It shouldn't be like, you thinking about another person because, oh, I thought we were friends, how come you didn't invite me? Kind of thing. I'm like, dude, it's like, I can't think of everything, and that takes too much work. It's like I said, to me, friendships should be easy. It should be natural. It should be like, when we see each other, it's like, oh, your face should light up, right? When you meet, we haven't seen a friend like me. For now, I haven't seen James now for a couple of weeks now. When I see him, hey, brother, good to see you, man. You're having fun. I saw you, it should be like that, And then if we see each other again, we see each other again. If we don't, we don't, it should be like that, Good to know, good to know. OB, no, dear, use timeout and range. We don't want to reduce subscribers. All right. OB, I think you did the right thing. All right, all right. Don't worry, OB. The moderators on this channel, I trust you guys, and you don't feel like you're obligated to do anything. Don't feel any pressure. It's like, have fun, have fun. It's like. Had to be bad, no problem. I'll fix it. Janet, did you look at the profile photo of what you unhidden? See, you guys know more than me. I don't even know like that. I have removed comments before, like when you guys aren't around and I start a live stream. I just click the name. I said remove. I hit remove. It's like. It doesn't, to me, it's like, if a person's negative anyway, or a troll or whatever, I'll just remove them, I know they're not going to subscribe to the channel anyway. And like I said, it's not that important to me. Edgar, we must be fair. They can report, and now YouTube must review. Best is to 24 and get, oh, okay. All right. I reviewed the whole thing. Look at total. Did you look at his picture profile? HD, did you take into account my decision based on total? We are not running away something. We are running to something much better. Peace, greater financial, much higher. Girl, I like you, Daniel. Daniel always says that the girl or women at the, always like sneaks that in. To me, I don't look at it as when people, when you hear stuff like that, you're running away from something, it's like, to me, it's like, it's just a fresh start, it's like, why wouldn't you want a fresh start at something, it's like, I remember when I was in the military, I was 20 years in the military. I loved the military. I loved the camaraderie. I loved my job. I loved everything about it. But I was also excited to leave the military. I was looking forward to retirement. Like I said, that was the best day of my military career, was my retirement day, because it was like I accomplished something that I wanted. Now I was going to get a pension. But to me, it was exciting to start a new life after the military. And I think that's why, for me, when I left the military, when I retired from the military after 20 years, I'm not the type of person that collected everything in the military. It's like I just released all that. It's like I gave away stuff. Because for me, the T-shirts that I wear, that people give me about the Air Force, that's enough for me. It's enough reminder for me that I was in the military. I'll always be proud of my military service. That's why I wore the shirts, that. And when people give me T-shirts, it means something to me. I'll wear the T-shirts. Hello, Janet. I don't think you looked at the brand. Not family friend. Oh, okay, all right. Good thing. We don't want no family friendly photos here, man. We don't want, we don't need that. Edgar, I've been doing this since it take a very long time to take over all into effect. Okay. HD, I'm surprised I choose you for James. Amazing. The comment was not anything else. All right. Sorry, just got a Lenovo and an Apple tablet. For the PH trip. So many on YouTube not friendly family as much. We review. Okay. If you believe having the with some kids. Absolutely. Okay. Joe, hey Joe, hey, hello Joe. True that. We paid our dues. We own our time now. Yeah, right? To me, it's like, of course, I understand the dynamic of YouTube, the dynamic of Facebook. You're always gonna find people like not agreeing, and to me, there's nothing wrong with that. My favorite thing to say, hey, we just have to agree to disagree. We don't have to agree on everything, right? There's nothing wrong about disagreeing. It's just the adult conversation about like if we don't agree, we'll just agree to not disagree, right? It's like. It's sometimes people get so focused on their point. Like me, I don't get like that. I respect everybody's opinion. It's like I listen to people. But for me, like I said, it's like I don't look at people coming here, running away from something in the U.S. I don't look at them. They just want more excitement. More excite. I mean, it's an adventure. It's an adventure to go. I mean, when I was in the military and I was being stationed in Korea, being stationed in the Philippines, being stationed in Japan, that was an exciting time for me. Here I was going to live in another country, experience the local culture, eat their food, meet Japanese, meet Koreans. To me, that was exciting. And I know that a lot of the people that I meet here, when they get here to the Philippines, it is exciting. I'm excited for Edgar, man. I know when Edgar comes here to Calibo, he's gonna have a great time. He's gonna meet so many people here. It's gonna be fun for him. It's like because I already see that with my friend Ruben. I already see that with my friend Nefty. They're living here in Calibo now, and I see it with them. When I see them, like Nefty this week. Nefty is from Houston. He's in his early 70s. He messaged me last week. Hey, Ginno, I think I'm going to Boracay this coming week. So I said, hey, all right. So I texted him information of my friend in Diniwid, where I stayed back in June. That 1 month I stayed at Diniwid Beach. My friend there owns an Airbnb. So I messaged my friend, hey, can you hook up Nefty with a room? And then Nefty, connected both of them. And like, when was that? Tuesday, because Nefty went to Boracay Monday. And he goes, hey, Ginno, appreciate it, man. It's like, thanks for the hookup. These are great people. And they are. I will not recommend anybody to you. It's my reputation on the line. It's like, if I send you to Boracay and I tell you, it's my friend that's an owner of the Airbnb, that friend of mine will gonna take care of you. And to me, it makes a whole lot more fun to stay at a place where you're friends with the person, right? You're not just a number. You're not just a guest. My friend that runs the Airbnb, they will treat them like their family. I know when Nefty and his partner, when they go to Boracay, they're gonna hang out with my friend, the owner of the Airbnb. They're gonna hang out. Same thing with Larry. The message that I just got, the posted. If I take you or I send you to Larry, he owns a resort, beach resort in Pandan Antique. L&L Resort is the name of the resort. Beautiful resort right on the beach. Beautiful. His complex, nice cottages, AC, air conditioned. If I send you to him, he's gonna treat you well. And Larry's he's retired American. He came from Alaska, lived in Alaska most of his life. Now he's running a resort. He owns the resort. So if I send you to him, when you go there, he's gonna take care of you. You're gonna be like, hey, yeah, thanks for the hookup, Ginno. And to me, that's what's all about for me. Like, I hooked you up. I hooked my friend up. The resort or the Airbnb. We're all happy. We're all friends. Like, to me, that's what life is all about. Just having good people around you, sharing the good vibe. People taking care of other people. Peanut Butter Travels here. All right, thank you, Peanut Butter Travels. Appreciate you, my friend. You're always on the live streams now. Thank you so much. Agreed, George, agreed. Refer the icon. All right, Janet. When I said, all right. Mary, UP campuses are in Quezon City, Manila, Baguio, Los Baños, Visayas, and Cebu, Tacloban. Yeah, there's many, not right? Thank you, Fortune. You know all about UP, man. I'm glad. Fortune's a wealth of information here. I'm so happy that Fortune is on our channel here. He's a wealth of knowledge about the Philippines. I'm learning so much from Fortune. HD, all right, report, all right. I know you guys, Mom Janet, HD, I know you guys, and OB Olson, I know you guys got to handle it. I ain't worried about y'all, man. You're like doing our channel a favor. It's like I'm always grateful for our moderators. It's like you don't have to do this. It's like you could be doing other things, and I'm appreciative. I'm always appreciative of all our moderators. We don't have many. It's like I think you're maybe we have 5, but you're the 3 that's consistently on the channel. That's helping our channel. Small campuses, Clark. Oh, I didn't know. UP got Clark na, Pampanga, Pandan. All right. Yeah, I know UP's all over now, man. All over the Philippines. Good day. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mom Janet. Maggie's UP is Diliman. That's what I figured. Diliman, Quezon City. Yeah. I've been there a long time ago, Fortune, because I lived in Quezon City when I was 7 years. 7 years total when I was 5 till I was 12 before I left for the United States. I lived in San Francisco del Monte, Quezon City. Frisco, they call it Frisco, Quezon City. Yeah, definitely different from what now, when, the last time I went to Manila and see, I couldn't even recognize a lot of the places in Quezon City, I left in 1978, man. So 78 is a long time ago, almost unrecognizable now, Quezon City. Everything in Metro Manila for me is almost, I'll get lost. If I ride jeepneys or whatever, I'll get lost. Maybe the route from Frisco, since I've done that travel so many times from Frisco, then the Pantranco, then to Santo Domingo, España, then Quiapo. Maybe that route I'll always know because like that was my route going to school for many years. That'd be hard for me to forget. I'm sure if I ride that in a jeepney or something, it would be like memorable, because I haven't done that in so many years. We are a team. That's right. That's right. Our moderators are a team. I know you guys are all working together, and I appreciate you. I appreciate all the moderators, Mom Janet, HD, Olson. I appreciate it because, like I said, you guys don't have to do this. It's like you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, and it's much appreciated. Much appreciated. You bring that hospital document to the civil register or town, who will encode. Yes, that's thank you, Fortune. That's how it is. It's like he was. I think that's why I informed that to him that this hospital certificate has to be registered first, because he was thinking he would just take that certificate to the PSA because he didn't have the PSA stamp. I told him no. There's a process. How the Philippines says, man, everything has a process. It's like you'll just get turned back by the PSA. They're going up. You got to go. The local registry has to be the one sending it to us. That kind of thing. Sant did a very good job. He also did that. Oh, that's good. That's good. Mom Janet, I'm glad that Nanay. I'm glad that Nanay got good doctors. And I knew, when I saw that Nanay was going to Asia Pacific Medical Center, I knew they would take care of her. That's a good hospital. That's a good hospital. I still need to report Isaiah's birth to the PSA, but I need to get the marriage report done first. It's such a painful process. LOL. The same thing with the marriage. It has to be certified too, because I know Dazzle and I somewhere. It has to have the, anything here, it has to has the Philippine Statistics Authority stamp. It is documents here. That's why land. The land's horrible. Olson, if you ever have to deal with like a land transfer or a land anything, if you buy land here or inherit land or anything, or a title on your name, that is a long and drawn out process here, because there's so many agencies that you got to hit. It's definitely worth it to find somebody that you just pay and can handle, that does it. Usually like an attorney's office, or something that would like do the land thing for you, engineer, whatever. If you had to do it by yourself, there's like even for Dazzle's land that we bought in Katiklan, there's I remember the DENR, the Department Environmental something. There's like the regional court in Calibo. They got to make sure there's no case against that land. There's the registry of deeds. There's the BIR, the tax. I mean, that's just what I can remember. 4 agencies, government agencies. Imagine and they're like, they don't talk to each other. One will say, you need this document from here, and then you go there and they go, what document are you talking about? You need this one first. They'll like pass you. They're like different people. It's best to like an attorney's office or something, pay the money and let them do it, because they have a guy. Usually they have a guy that's the processor, or they don't like to use the term fixer anymore, but that's what they are. They fix things. That's what they are. You pay the fixer to take care of it. The runner, because even just going like when you buy land, the taxes on it. Just to check on the taxes and pay on the taxes to like the BIR, the Bureau of Internal Revenue here. That takes a lot of work. That's just one agency. It's just like, it's like insane. It's just an insane amount of paperwork that Dazzle had to go through. But she was so happy when she got the title on the land. Yeah, she was so happy, And I think people have seen that with other vloggers, that there's vloggers that I know bought land and they gave up on it. They gave up on it because it's like, I don't need this stress. I don't need this headache. William. Hello, William. Hello, Young. Women overs usually get vitamin B issues, magnesium, potassium. Hers were more, in my view, age. Oh, okay, yeah. Me, I need to get more vitamins. I need to, I'll be 60 soon, Mom Jan. I'm 59. I'll be, next year I turn 60. So I might have to get on that vitamin program. PSA is the official stats of the country. They calculate and release inflation report. Like today is, thank you, Fortune. I didn't know that today is the release day for August. Okay, I received Gmail. YouTube will look into. All right. FYI, Facebook is a great way to get the attention of consulate offices, especially if you can't get a hold of them via phone. All right, that's good. Their Facebook page, message them to your Facebook page. I have done that with many people I deal with. It's the phone numbers, unfortunately, Olson here. Good luck with any phone number here. Like when government agencies, any place, when they put a phone number, good luck about getting a hold of them. Like the bus terminal, airport, any phone number that's listed, good luck about getting a person on the line. Better to do a message on Facebook. That's why, I know people, giving up on Facebook. I know a lot of people have given up on Facebook, don't want any part of Facebook. Here in the Philippines, I think it's still a good tool to have a Facebook, because you can join the expat groups. You can message companies here and they'll more likely respond if you have a Facebook account. And Facebook Marketplace. Like for a small town like Numancia, very valuable for us, because that's where the kind of like, what do they call that? Craigslist. Back in the day when I was in the US, there used to be a Craigslist or in your community where people post up for sale and deal with the locals. Facebook Marketplace here in our town of Numancia, that's how people find barter. That's how people find each other here. Hey, I'm getting rid of this stuff. Anybody interested? That kind of thing. Facebook is used for that here. I know in the US, many people, don't want anything to do with Facebook anymore. But here in the Philippines, really commonly used still here. Joe, how far is Iloilo from Rojas City? Iloilo City, they border with Capiz. It's a border town. But from city to city, if you're going from Iloilo City, Mandurriao, where the mall is, SM City Iloilo, to Rojas City itself, SM Rojas City, less than 2 hours, less than 2 hour drive. But if you're at the border, if you live by the border of Capiz in Iloilo province, like Capiz province and Iloilo province, that border, from the border is less than 1 hour to Rojas City, maybe 45 minutes. Iloilo City is pretty big. Iloilo province is pretty big. It's a pretty big province. So depending on where you are in Iloilo province is how your proximity to Rojas City. $150 kilometers. Okay, and it's a good highway. I've traveled that many times. The highway, you can go fast on that highway. You can go more. Usually on the highway here, I drive maybe 60 kilometers per hour. That's like 39 miles per hour. That's a highway. That's how, usually I ride about 60, but there's a stretch there in Iloilo province, like from Iloilo City, Pasig City, Dueñas, all the way from Mambusao in Capiz. There's a stretch there I've gone up to like 80 kilometers per hour. That's probably what 55 miles an hour. You know, because there's a stretch of good highway, nicely paved that you can. But it takes me from Iloilo City to Rojas City takes me about 2 hours. If HD drives, I don't drive fast. I don't drive fast. HD, he's a racer. He's a racer. I thought Calibo to Iloilo. Oh, no, no worries. All right. Calibo to Iloilo, that's a good drive. Like for me, like from our house here, I've gotten there in 3.5 hours, but most of the time it takes me 4 hours. I take my time, you know. And then the drive, there's some highway, but you have to go through towns. Like if I from our house here, I have to go from here Numancia, I have to go to Banga, I have to go to Balete, Batan, Altabas, and you're going through towns. It's not like they're building one. They're building an expressway, an elevated expressway right now. But right now, you have to go through towns. And when you go through towns, like when I pass through Balete, of course, you're going to hit their public market area. You got to slow down. Sometimes to 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers per hour because there's people. There's a lot of people. Tricycles, Altabas is like one of the worst. Plaza area, marketplace. Altabas, their main plaza town, man, it's just so congested there. So much traffic, so many tricycles when you get into that area. But I take my time when I drive here because so many things that you got to avoid there. So many things that you got to watch when you're driving here in the Philippines. Even here in the province, even though we don't have the traffic of Manila or Cebu, the big cities, you still got to be careful because there's people crossing the street, there's animals crossing the street, tricycles making a U-turn, motorbikes not looking. There's just so many. You got to be like extremely careful when you're riding here, riding a motorbike or driving a car here. Five to 6 hours. The one from Calibo to Iloilo City, it could take 4 hours. The ones that make a lot of stops, but there is a bus, Edgar. It's called the Ceres bus. You just have to look on the bus on the windshield. They'll have a sign, limited stops. That's the one. That's the one you wanna. Every time you can ride a bus that has limited stops on it, that's what you want. Lessens the trip, when it's limited stops. But most of the time, if they don't have those signs, you are correct, Edgar. People will just flag them from the highway. I could be standing anywhere in the highway, just raise my hand, and the bus will, it'll be a constant stop, go, picking up, dropping off passengers. But they go fast. I mean, the series buses, once they don't have to make a stop, they're flying. Man, they're going fast on the highways there. 80 kilometers. I'm guessing. I try to be responsible when there are other people on the road. And our HD. Fresh aloha. Hey, fresh aloha. Aloha, my brother. Aloha, my brother. How are you? I'm good. I'm good this morning. I just getting the day started. I'll be done on the live stream here before around 8, so that's just start of my day. I had my coffee. Leanna doesn't have school today, so we'll probably do something today. I wouldn't be surprised if they all of a sudden decide to go fishing today. It'd be a good day to go fishing because it's cloudy this morning. Let me just show you real quick how it is outside. Not sunny. Yesterday the sun was like shiny bright yesterday, but today it's not sunny at all. It's not raining. Oh, the sun did come out. Look at that. Look at that. I'm lying to you guys. It did come out, but you can tell there's a lot more. It's not bright like yesterday. There's clouds, but it's not raining though. It's not raining. But it did come up. Earlier, it wasn't up at all. So it might rain today. It might rain today. But quiet again, like always. It's almost automatic here in our neighborhood. It's always just quiet. And there, our neighborhood here is full. Once this house here, once these people move into this house, I don't think we have maybe one or two houses on my street are vacant. So once those people move in, like that house just got painted, new paint on that house. All these houses here are occupied. But it's always quiet. It's always quiet in the neighborhood here. That's why I like even after the live stream this morning, I can walk my dogs and it's quiet, you know. That's why I've always enjoyed living here at Camellia Clan. I mean, they have problems, you know, don't get me wrong. It's like, it's not a perfect community, gated community, but I've just learned to like accept what it is. You know, it's like, it's, you know, it's hard to find like a perfect situation, you know, like and bad, you know. But I just try to focus on the good. You know, I focus on, you know, I like that we don't have crazy partiers on our street. We don't have karaoke. I don't have to listen to karaoke. Rarely do I hear karaoke in our street here. No roosters, no stray dogs. You know, after the live stream, I can walk my dog in peace. You know, there's no poop. You know, we all pick up our, you know, poop of our dogs. All our neighbors here are responsible. Once in a while, you'll get a one-off. You know, there's always somebody that ruins it for everybody. But you know, I like it. I like living here at Camellia Clan. I agree. Fresh oil. I always say happiness is like perfume. You can't put it on others without having few drops of yourself. Spread happiness. Yeah. I like that. I like that, Fresh Aloha. HD, so you're saying dogs and cows are in danger? When you're driving, it's danger. Danger. I don't know, man. The cows here are pretty big, man. You don't want to be hitting a cow here, Daniel. Unfortunately, you know, every day I go on my Facebook page and here in Aklan province, there's just accidents, you know. That's just unfortunate. And some of the accidents are, you know, motorbikes, cars, trucks. I mean, people are just not careful when they drive, you know. They're always like in a hurry, you know. It's like, I can't, you know, the whole Aklan province, you know, it's just a lot of accidents. Even when it's not raining, and then when it's raining, it like doubles. You know, the accidents on the highway here doubles. That's why I'm so careful. That's why I'm so careful when I'm driving. I'm always like, you know, I take my time. I'm always watching out for other people because people just do strange maneuvers here. You know, that going against the flow of traffic. You know, it's like that's common here. You know, it's like, you know, people come out of nowhere, you know, wrong direction, driving on the wrong direction. It's like counterflow. That is like, even see it now. I even see signs on the highway now. In Calibo, when I go to Calibo, there's actually a sign on some areas. It says there, no counterflowing. But to me, I'm like, that should be automatic. You know, why would you go the wrong direction? You know, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Language of the soul. Supporting your wife's family is a Filipino way of thinking. And even though that's considered a good trait in the Philippines, it may be the same in other countries. It may be, yeah, I'm sure it happens in the US too, you know. It's just more common here, you know. I just feel like the ones that embrace that, because I'm the one that came back to the Philippines. I'm living here. When I started dating Dazzle, and when she became my fiance and we were getting married, I knew that dynamic. I'm not ignorant. I'm not like, I know that if I marry her, chances are I have to help her family. And the Americans or foreigners that come here, I don't think they can claim that they don't know that. You know, it's like the people like, you know, if you don't want that, then find a Filipina that you know, that will agree with you. You know, but you know, don't act like, you know, don't marry a Filipina saying, oh, I didn't know that I was supposed to like help out her family. I think most of us know that now, that even a foreigner knows that when you marry a Filipina here, chances are you're marrying her family. You're expected to help her family. At least in the beginning of the relationship, tell them that, right? Tell your Filipina, hey, I ain't supporting your family. At least lay the law in the beginning. A lot of times what I see is like when American or foreigner is here, when they're dating the Filipina, they're spoiling the Filipina, buying her all kinds of things, flashing presents to all her family members, impressing them, whole suitcases of stuff like presents, phones here, T-shirts here, from America, trying to impress everybody. You set the wrong precedent in the beginning. That people, of course, they're gonna expect that from you. It's like if that's how you started the relationship. But if you start the relationship with a Filipina and say, hey, I don't agree with this, I have to help your family, then you should be okay. If the Filipina says, oh, I don't expect you to help my family, then you're good. But don't be like knowing this and then change up on them. It's like once you're married already, you don't want to help anymore. To me, that's wrong. That's just my opinion. I don't think, I think, and I always say, I know the people that I know, the people that help the Filipinas family, we're just at peace. We're at peace. We're happier just because, like for me, I have savings. I have a nest egg. I have money that I have saved. When I'm gone, who's gonna get the money? My wife, right? Dazzle's on it already. Everything's gonna be Dazzle's anyway. So when I'm gone, she can do, she's gonna do whatever she wants with the money. So to me, it's like if she wants to help her family, I'm all for that. It's the culture here in the Philippines to help family. Most expats have motorbikes. Yes. I would say 80% at least of expats here in the Philippines ride motorbikes. I drive with racing theory in mind. Racing? You're a racer, HD. And use the whole road for the ILDL, looking to hit the apex. Oh, apex, all right. Man, you're like F1. HD, you're like a F1 driver. Me, I drive like an old man. I'll drive, I'm slowing down every time I see anything, intersections, anything. I'm like slowing down. It's like Dazzle's helping me. Dazzle's my co-pilot. She's like right next to me, pointing out things to me when we're driving. My reflexes aren't as fast as it used to be. That's why I'm careful, super careful. I don't want an accident because it's a headache here when you get an accident. Today is pickup day at UP. All right, for chin. Hey, there's James and Karen. All right, good morning, James and Karen. I started early today, James. I think I started around right after 6, so I'm almost done. I'm almost at the 2-hour mark. Leanna doesn't have school today. That's why I started early. She's still sleeping. Everybody's still sleeping. Nobody has moved. I'm the only one here. I've had my coffee. I've had a piece of toast. Everybody's still sleeping. Hello, HD. All right, JK, James and Karen. I saw that Ray in the Philippines, I was on his live stream yesterday afternoon. He was packing up, cleaning his place, getting out the trash. So headed here to Panay Island. I think I have to check after the live stream, but I think he should be in Iloilo City now. He should have landed in Iloilo City either last night or this morning. I wasn't clear on whether. I just saw him cleaning up his place in Tagaytay, getting ready to come to Panay Island. Thanks, Fortune. She is doing better. Good to hear. Glad to hear Nanay is doing well now. I'm sure she'll get plenty of rest at home. You guys will take care of Nanay. Good to hear, James. After years of driving on the Autobahn. All right, I know that German Autobahn. It's difficult to control I'm sure the need for speed for Daniel. I mean, here, you can go fast here, Daniel. I've seen people on the highway here fly on the highway here because I I've done so many trips to Iloilo City. I'm sure I've done it 100 times back and forth over the years, right? Rarely do I see like a cop. Rarely do I see like a highway patrol. I've never seen a highway patrol here with a radar gun. I've never seen one. I can't think of a time where I've seen anybody with a radar gun. So they're not gonna know how fast you're going. They're probably gonna estimate. They're gonna go, oh, that guy's going fast. But there's no like highway patrol cars that will chase you here. Maybe a guy in a motorbike with like that light, the kind of like the chips, the California Highway Patrol, their version of here. But they do have checkpoints. A lot of times when you get into the towns, you will see checkpoints where there's police. But when you're on the highways, you don't see many police here. Joke lang, Daniel. In Philippine culture, it's usually the daughter that takes care of the mother. All right. Aha, yes. If the car is fast on the straight, you have a fast car. If the fast on the turn, you have a fast driver. Yeah, you have the corners. The turns are always like what separates the good drivers, right? HD. I'm learning that now watching F1. I saw that this past weekend Piastri and Norris didn't even finish. His car broke down. I was kind of rooting for Lando Norris because I was thinking that he would challenge more for the championship this year. But it looks like Oscar Piastri is going to be the champion this year. Jay, really enjoy your last few vlogs. All right. My hot rod in Germany was a Toyota Camry. LOL, Toyota Camry. I would have been impressed if you took it to Nürburgring. Zoom. All right, George. Hey, said hi. All right, George. Pantranco bus is gone. Yeah, I think I heard that. I think I heard that Pantranco. But that used to be, that I dated myself there, Fortune, that I'm old. Yeah, I dated myself with the Pantranco. Your route via España floods. Oh yeah, it was, like I said, the España route that I took, that was flooding back in the 70s. And I see it on YouTube, it still floods, Nothing has changed. So that's why I hear all the news about the flood control funds, being mishandled and all that. I mean, I'm sure that's been happening since the 70s. I mean, in the 70s, it was flooding. Now we're in 2025, 50 years later, it's still flooding. So obviously, whatever they're doing, the past 50 years hasn't worked. Camera DC 75 max. Joke lang. 75 max downhill. Some people in the provinces just keep the hospital cert and not bother to register. Sure. Yeah, exactly. And that's that's typical, typical in the province. I mean, I know many people, now I don't think they allow it, but I hear many people here that were born in the 70s, in the 80s, here in the province that they had the birth at home. They just they were like, yeah, I didn't go to I was not born in the hospital. I was born at home, and I'm like, what? You were born at home? I guess that was common. I didn't know that was common. Back in the day, I thought everybody was. I was born in a hospital in 1966. Tondo Hospital is where I was born. So I thought. I didn't realize, it makes sense, in the province that people, were being born at home. But I don't think they allow that now. I don't hear everybody's being born in a hospital now. It's and I'm hearing more and more people are having cesarean birth. It's every time I see a birth, on Facebook, people sharing their birth picture or story on Facebook, seems like more and more people are having cesarean birth now instead of just a natural birth. The old Toyota Corolla is one of the cars some enthusiasts want. All right, yeah. I saw a new car here, HD. I saw it. It's called the and I know it's new because I've only seen it one time on the road because there's a Toyota dealership here. It's called like a Toy. It looks like it's a Toyota Corolla, but it's not like the four-door sedan, two-door sedan that I'm used to seeing. This was like a hybrid. It's like a, I think it was named like I gotta look it up, but I think it was called a Toyota Corolla Hybrid, and it's more like a SUV. I was like surprised. I was on the road, I gotta check out the new. When next time I'll stop by the Toyota dealership to see what that thing's all about. It's kind of cool looking. It's like that was like the newest Corolla I've seen. It's not the standard. When you see a Corolla, you're thinking four-door sedan. It's like this Corolla was like looked like a SUV. It says a Corolla Hybrid on the back. It was Nuremberg. All right, Nuremberg. There is a cartoon show called Initial D, which is based on the. Oh, I didn't know. I never heard of that. Toyota Corolla. I had a Toyota Celica. I don't think I've ever owned a Toyota Corolla. I've owned a Toyota Celica, I remember. That was one of my cars when I was in California. HD, no clue. I always been American muscle car. It's all. Yeah, I saw Edgar's car. He posted it on his Facebook. I'm friends with Edgar on Facebook. That he just sold. He just sold this muscle car. Nice looking car, Edgar. Nice looking car. I'm seeing more like the Ford Mustang that's popular here in our province. And there's a Ford dealership I know in Roa City. That's probably where they're getting it. And I'm seeing them more in Aklan province, the Ford Mustang. $100. Ooh, I don't think I've ever. Well, I did. I did. I have driven that fast, like when in the U.S., like 125, because there's stretches in the U.S., like in Texas or even in Arizona, where you don't see many vehicles. There are splits for the Japanese import cars in America. I'm in the former. Yeah, I have a friend. His name's Alan. He lives in Japan, married a Japanese lady. We were stationed in Japan together. I left Japan when I retired, and he stayed the whole time. He's been living in Japan now for over 20 years. And he works, he sells cars. He sells cars in Japan, right outside Misawa Air Base. There's a car dealership there, used car, and he's got amazing cars, HD. I know you would enjoy the cars, like Japanese cars. He races them too. He ovals. He does the drifting. He has nice cars himself. He to me is like the Filipino Fast and Furious. He can be Filipino Fast and Furious. I should send you. I'll see if I can grab some of the picture of his cars on his Facebook, and I'll email it to you since I got your email. My average driving was, man, Daniel, you're a speed demon. You're a speed demon, Daniel. I would go for the old Supra. Yeah, I know the Supra. Mine was just a Celica. I think I don't remember if I even had the GT. It's been so long, but mine was just a regular Celica. But I did put rims on it. The Falken tires, I remember, Falken rims. The tires, the fatter tires, lowered the Celica a little bit. I did do that California thing at the time, and I did get the exhaust to make it sound different. My Celica. My average speed. An hour and a half. Good walking pace. Joe, same here. Very, very quiet in our community. Yeah, that's why the last 9 years I've been living here in our community. I love our community. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's had issues, but in the Philippines, it's really hard to find housing or the type of house when you live here that's not going to have issues. You're going to have issues no matter where you live here in the Philippines. It's just I just focus on the positive. I focus on the positive. I like that, like after this live stream, I'll be able to walk my dogs. Nobody's going to bother us, no other dogs, no stray dogs. I'm done for the day after the 1/3, folks. All right. Thank you, Daniel. Wedding certificate. Oh, okay. Bypass in Altabas with those potholes has to be. I know, right? There's the bypass road James is mentioning. And I don't even use that bypass road. I have to go through town in Altabas. And I know it, right, James? It's like the most congested town plaza, public market. It's like when you make that left on the light there, it's uphill. And there'll be vehicles parked, tricycles parked. Sometimes it's just one lane. I'm trying to squeeze my car into like that one lane. There's like vendors, there's motorbikes, tricycles. And then when you make that turn up the hill, the plaza is so crowded. But there's a bypass that you can take that James has taken. But it's the worst bypass road here in Aklan province. So many potholes on that bypass road. It's a jungle and vibrant. Yes. I mean, it's here. It's like everything's so green. Everything's so green. When I'm on my morning walks, you'll see on my morning walks. It's like it's very green, trees, grass. Those Ceres buses move. You are expected to get out for sure. At the Ceres bus, James. It's like me, man. I always watch out for the Ceres bus, the big yellow buses or the blue buses. When I'm like on the highway and it's like windy roads, because like when you have a blind corner, I slow down. I told this to James when he was in my car. I always like anticipate a Ceres bus heading straight for me. Every time I'm like driving, I'm kind of slow down, ready to ditch my car on the side for a Ceres bus, because the Ceres bus here on a blind corner up the mountain, zigzag road, they will pass. There was even a picture here in Ibahay. 3 Ceres buses, they got into accident because that happened. Imagine 3 buses because it's one lane this way in Ibahay. A bus was overtaking, so 2 buses on one lane and a bus coming this way. So all 3 of them got involved in the accident because there's no way for them to go. 2 buses was occupying this lane and a bus coming this way. 3 buses got into accidents, 3 Ceres buses, because they fly. They do not slow down. They honk their horn. That's why now when I ride my tricycle, like when I go to town, if I know I'm riding my tricycle Bumblebee to Calibo, that's about a 15-minute tricycle ride for me. I wear earplugs. I have earplugs that I bought because these Ceres buses, they'll get behind me, man, and they'll like honk. Loud bus horn, will make you deaf. That kind of loud. That's why now I wear earplugs, because that has happened to me many times, and I learned my lesson. I just like wear earplugs when I have to ride on the highway on Bumblebee, because I'm open on Bumblebee. I'm not in a car. In a car, they can honk all they want. I got AC on. I got windows. But on Bumblebee, I'm like wide open. I got nothing, It's like, so I'm not even wearing a helmet. I'm not required to wear a helmet on the tricycle. So I got earplugs. Pothole road. Yeah. You can call that pothole road, Daniel. I've avoided it. I haven't been on that road, but I know it's like a horrible road. It's like moon craters. It's like driving in the moon. Ceres, king of the provincial road. Oh, they are. Ceres is the king of the provincial roads for sure. James, that's the reason why Philippines is mostly Catholic. These bus drivers convert most of the population because when people they try a bit. It's not a joke, HD. I remember there's a video that went viral here, and this bus driver Ceres was driving and the people inside the bus were like telling the driver, slow down, Manong, slow down, please. People were praying on the bus, telling the driver to slow down. I don't know if he had lost his mind or something, but he was just flying on the road, scared the people enough. And that takes a lot for Filipinos to get scared on a bus, because Filipinos ride buses, they know that these drivers drive fast. So when I watched that video, for them to actually be praying and actually saying like, slow down, Manong, slow down, he had to be flying on the road. Amazing staircase, amazing staircase. Yes, it's that bad. It is, James, right? James, I've seen that road, that the bypass road, Alta Bus. It's the worst road in Aklan province, no, hands down. I've never seen a road like that horrible. I might have to convert to being Catholic after riding the bus. You gotta convert, Edgar. I'm sure that church owes many conversions to those. They do. Not just the Ceres bus. That's one of them. The other public transportation that will make you start praying here are the van. The L3 van. They're white vans called L3. Like I think Mitsubishi makes it. The Ceres flies. This L3 even flies, faster because they're faster, and man, they take chances. They're so in a hurry to get from point A to point B. They're passing. They're like a motocross, like a motorbike racer going this to traffic, like weaving to traffic. These vans will pass on the left, pass on the right, pass anywhere, pass on the turn. You see them in accidents, unfortunately. They drive like they're driving like they're an ambulance trying to get a patient to the hospital. They're just like super fast when they're on the road. Trucks has curbed my speed a lot. Oh, okay, you moved to trucks. We rode the bus from Tarlac to LU. The bus has a snack break in a bathroom break. Yep, I remember that. In the rice field. LOL. Wife culture shock. Wife on the rice field. I've taken a bus before. Dazzle and we took a bus before from Angeles City to Baguio City, and they didn't take the express highway now. They took the long route, so like Tarlac to Pangasinan, and it made a stop like at a weird spot, but it was a long ride. It was a long ride on that bus. Drivers get free food at the stops. Oh yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense that they get free food because all the passengers will eat at the stops. Any advice for buying a car? A cat? A cat? Buying a cat. Is it a cat? Do you mean a cat or a cat? Probably you can just get a cat here for free. There's so many cats here. People just give away cats. But maybe you meant car. Maybe my only advice buying a car, don't buy used. That was my worst car. Okay, right there, you said car. My worst mistake here was buying a used car. I would never buy a used car ever again. My mistake, I think this is the province, and I bought like a Honda Accord used car. And here in Aklan province, we don't have a Honda dealership. So when the car broke, I had to find a mechanic, and they, not a certified Honda mechanic. That's why I went with Toyota, a brand new Toyota. Maybe in Manila, maybe most cars in Manila will have like a dealership. Maybe you can get by with buying a used vehicle, but you still got to be careful because a lot of cars here in the Philippines, unfortunately, in Manila, I know it floods. Manila, Quezon City, it floods. So there's a good chance a used car you're buying experience a flood. Being underneath flood waters. I have to sell my pew within about a month. Anyone here in the interested? All right, interested. Same here. 2 years to find by Benelli M4. Have to sell it. All right. Time to get rid of stuff. All right, I got to the end. I'm on the 2-hour mark. So perfect timing for me. HD, it only hurts until you think about your future. Yeah. I know, Edgar. I know. giving up the car. I know that was, but you're giving up something, but I think you're getting something better, Edgar. You're getting something better. If there's a way for me to bring it over, I'll bring it over to the Philippines. Dallas and Philly tonight. All right, Brian, my good friend, my sports buddy. We're always like checking on our sports. All right, Dallas and Philly tonight. All right, football season already. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for joining the live stream, everyone. Thank you for joining the live stream. Appreciate the time this morning. Everybody, please take care. Please take care.